Alright, it's your boy Cody Mack here with What's the Word. I'm here chilling with the boy Bobby Sessions. What's going on? What you got?
How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. What about yourself?
Doing good.
Alright, so is this your first time in the Windy City, man?
It is.
How you liking it so far?
It's a good vibe. I had some good deep dish pizza, and I'm excited to perform tonight at Reggie's Rock Club.
Okay. You at a historic spot. There's like a lot of the dope MCs come through this spot. So This is gonna be a memorable show for you.
It's an honor to be here.
Alright, so I'm gonna get right into it. So the first question I ask everybody I sit with is there anything off limits?
I'm gonna say no, and I'll see if I change my mind.
Okay, alright. So we're gonna dive into it. Now see, for a lot of people don't know Bobby Sessions, you from Dallas, right?
Yeah.
But listening to your music, bro, I don't get the Dallas sound. Like what's some of your influences?
Jay-Z, Eminem, Tupac are probably the strongest three.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see the partners in you, and I see it because you remind me of a political guy.
Thank you.
You know, and you political hip hop. And I'm kind of eager to talk to you because it seems like with most artists, I don't really get to dig in a lot of stuff. But there's some things that you said in previous things that I wanted to, pick your brain on. Like you said, this a quote from you. You said the only time there's unity is when we're pulling each other down.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. When you're in an environment where there's not a ton of artists that successfully transition from a local status to a regional, national, international level, there's a lot of hopelessness that is all around that environment. So anytime somebody's making any strides to do something big, instead of everybody else celebrating it, they get envious. So the only time we have unity is when all the crabs are coming together to pull the one crab that's gonna get out of the barrel. And I've seen that in Dallas for sure. But now that more people are getting deals and more exposure, hopefully that mentality will begin to go away.
Okay, so let's speak on the city of Dallas right now. I know you said Dallas has no industry, but it has culture. What's the scene out there right now?
It's had a very vibrant hip hop scene for sure. There's a bunch of different types. For the longest, it was separated into more like the street or club side, and then the backpacker hip hop side. And even though it's the same city, you would think it's two completely different states. But now that we have people like Yellow Beezy on the the more street side with the success of his On Me record and Trap Boy Freddy, and a lot of artists out of there, it's been good for us to see several people starting to get spotlight, and I hope with what I'm doing on the more lyrical side that'll inspire more people to not look at Dallas as a place where nobody can make it out of, and a place that they can successfully have a career in as well.
What's been the feedback from Dallas? Like, how have they been accepting you?
It's been all love because all of my work has been documented. We got receipts. I've been putting in work in Dallas since 2011, so people had the opportunity to see me manifest my reality in real time, and people tend to be supportive of a story that they've been able to follow for a long time.
Okay, so speak on the support thing, because you say when you gave up working and you wanted to follow your dreams, you say like your people's really supported you and helped you in your career. Like how did that make you feel that like your parents supported you?
It was good. It took a while to earn their support, but I mean, because it does sound crazy. I'm gonna drop out of college to become a rapper. That the music business is not something that my parents, the people around me, understood. So why would they be supportive of something that could lead their child to be like homeless on the street if it's unsuccessful? If there's a 1% chance for you to be successful, but I knew, and whether y'all was supportive of it or not, this is what I was gonna do. And I think since the decision that I made was so firm, they knew they had no choice but to support it. They came and saw one of my shows live, and then it made sense to them, and they've been supporting it ever since.
Okay, so why do you feel like a lot of artists feel like people don't support them?
I think artists or people in general feel like they're entitled to support. I think people owe you belief because they're close to you, and they don't owe you belief. How are you gonna sell me on something that you're not completely sold on yourself? It's just it's that simple to me. A lot of people they want these great results to happen with their career, but they have hobby work ethic. You can't have hobby work ethic and think you're gonna have this successful career. I've been putting in work, like I said, a long time before I ever left my job. I was working 9 to 5, and then I would go to the studio from 7 to 2 every day. Every dollar I had that wasn't spent on things for my immediate survival was spent on studio times, production, artwork, music videos, photo shoots. So it's a lot of receipts of me investing all the extra money I had into myself. And when people see you investing in yourself and they see that this could potentially scale to something else, it'll be easier to convince them to support you at that point.
What's your relationship with like the media? Because you know a lot of people, because I'm in the media, and a lot of people will be like, "Yo, why you don't post my music? Post my music." Do you feel like in hip hop is it like given? Should just because you rap, should I post you, or do you feel like it should be earned?
Yeah, it should be earned. Like, again, any artist that has a problem with media outlets not posting their music, if you have a problem with that, build your own media platform and promote your own music. People do not owe you support. They don't owe you posts. They don't owe you articles. Like, and I think when artists lash out thinking that they're owed that and have that sense of entitlement, I think it has the opposite impact. Even if I like your music, I might not post your shit just because you were shitting on media. Like, you gotta have once you accept that nobody owes you nothing, you tend to not have a negative attitude towards media.
Okay. Now we're going out to the label side of things, right? You signed to Def Jam, right? So what made you sign to a major like Def Jam?
It made the most sense to me. Like, we've been doing our own thing at High Standards since 2015, a Dallas-based record label. But one of my managers, J-Dot, had a relationship with Paul Rosenberg, who's the CEO at Def Jam. And once it was announced that he was going to be the CEO, we felt like the music that I was making at the time would be a great fit in addition to the label. And once we had the meeting and played them the early versions of my Revolution EP, we both felt it would be mutually beneficial.
Okay, so you know right now in the media got a lot of talk about artists going independent. Like, what made you think? What's your perception on? Like, can you give the insight? Because you signed with a major. Like, is signing to a major the stereotype is off, or like just give me your insight?
Well, I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all path for artists. Artists got to decide what situation is the best for them and their interests. For me, when I look at all the artists that have a global impact, they typically have major distribution or a network that is big, where there's a bunch of different people working together to take this vision of yours and take it to the next level. And I have a big vision and big goals, and I felt like the team at Def Jam, along with the High Standard staff, is the best team that can be put together in order to make my dream come to a fruition.
Okay, so earlier I said you said Tupac, and when I say I see a lot of that in you is because, like you said, you make revolutionary music. You know what I'm saying? Hit the E-title, the EPs you got. We on chapter 2 right now, correct?
Yes.
You mentioned like your cousin was murdered, yeah, and just the police brutality. Like, he was unarmed, correct? And the police murdered him. So I like seeing that. A lot of people just watch it. You live through it. You know, so can you take us through the mindset of that?
There's no way of explaining that. I mean, you don't expect a family member to pass away like that in that fashion. It happens all the time. I just knew that I have a responsibility to speak on it, because when this happens all around the country, there's typically not somebody in the family that has a platform that can speak on it, so it gets swept under the rug. So I owe it to him to continue to talk about it and hopefully inspire more police officers to not behave in the same way.
Now, outside of the police officers, I'm not even gonna say outside of it, because that's fucked up, and I feel like that's something that gotta change, and I'm glad you're using your platform for it. But what about situations when we got our people killing each other?
I think a lot of that has to do with a lack of resources. Like, we have to, you gotta love yourself, and I think when you love yourself, you will see yourself in others, and you will go out of your way to not harm them. And I think there's a lot of lack of self-love, because there's not a lot of, the self-awareness is not at a level that it should be, which is why it's important for people to heal. Like, a lot of people don't heal. They got a lot of psychological and emotional trauma that never gets dealt with, and the reason they don't heal because it hurts to heal. So naturally, human beings try to avoid pain any way possible, but you got to go through that pain to learn about yourself, and you'll see the king in others or the queen in others, and naturally you're not going to try to harm another king or queen.
Okay, but I'm not gonna say but, like, because what you're saying, a lot of people got a chance to heal, and a lot of people are turning to the drugs to heal. So right now in hip hop, I feel like we going through this drug opioid crisis, and it's just like all the new artists are just like abusing. Like, what's your take on that?
It's damaging, and it's gonna have more psychological trauma that they're gonna pass down to their kids if they don't make an adjustment quickly.
Why do you feel like but the industry is pushing that type of music and not positive messages like yourself?
I think we put a lot of this on the industry, but if no artist was making music about that, then there would be nothing to push. Again, we gotta take responsibility. Nobody can make you rap about anything. Those are decisions that are being made by the artist to make that music. If the label's gonna make some money off of it, they're gonna do it. But expecting some corporation to care about the well-being of your community, that's your job.
Okay. All right, so I got this last question. You signed to Def Jam, you know, by Eminem's manager handpicked you to sign you. Like, have you had any conversations with him?
No.
Personally?
No.
All right, so what rappers, OGs in the game, that gave you some of the best advice?
Killer Mike.
You got a track with Killer Mike. So what was some advice Killer Mike gave you?
He told me to stay on the road. That was the first thing he ever said to me. Stay on the road as much as possible. And he also introduced me to the work of James Baldwin. After I showed him a preview of my Like Me video before it came out, just the boldness and brashness of it, he felt like if I studied James Baldwin more, it would give me more perspective on what I was doing already.
Okay, that's dope, bro. So 5 years, man. What we gonna see from Bobby Sessions? What's that look like?
See Bobby Sessions touring arenas and inspiring people to find their inner legend.